They don't appear on ballot papers. They don't give campaign speeches. They don't need your vote. Yet they decide who rises and who vanishes like budget allocations in a ghost ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ugandan Deep State, where power wears camouflage, files disappear, and agendas never sleep. Let's break it down. The Deep State refers to a network of bureaucrats, military officials, intelligence officers, and entrenched elites who wield real power behind the scenes. It's not some Illuminati fairy tale. It's more civil service meets chessboard. In Uganda, the Deep State is whispered about in bars, feared in parliament, and denied in public. But make no mistake, its fingerprints are everywhere, from electoral processes to shady deals that smell like they were marinated in oil money. The good. Let's be fair, sometimes the Deep State works like a stabilizer. In fragile democracies, these power brokers ensure continuity when political storms threaten to collapse the house. They can thwart and quell any form of rebellion and influence events where legitimate government may be failing. They can bring some semblance of peace. Think of it as a power bank keeping the system alive when leadership fails. In Uganda, this means certain ministries somehow keep functioning, elections somehow get organized, and national budgets somehow get passed even when parliament is busier throwing chairs and drafting bills. Uganda isn't alone. In the US, they talk about the CIA and Pentagon as deep state anchors. In Egypt, it's the intelligence community. Russia, the Siloviki, Turkey, the military used to play referee until Erdogan benched them. The bad. But what happens when the Deep State stops acting like a safety net and becomes a spider's web? You get selective justice, strategic arrests, rigged loyalty tests, and a bureaucracy that moves faster to sabotage reform than to implement policy. In Uganda, you can have a presidential handshake one week and be arraigned for corruption the next, depending on your usefulness. Oh, and don't ask about land. If you think the land registry is a mess, wait until you find out how many invisible hands are in the title business. The ugliest part? Democratic erosion. The Deep State survives regardless of who's president. They just rebrand, shift offices, and update their LinkedIn. You vote in hope. But the real deal is decided in air-conditioned rooms with no windows and too many teacups. That's how Uganda can have endless reforms, yet very little change. The system was designed by players who never leave the game. With unchecked powers, they can hijack legitimate government and willfully cause unnecessary chaos. They can put undue pressure on the government of the day to meet their demands or expect consequences. And no, your cousin who works in procurement at Ministry of Works is not part of the Deep State. He's just deep in loans. So next time something strange happens in Ugandan politics, a reshuffle that makes no sense, a whistleblower that disappears, or a budget that triples overnight, just whisper to yourself, Deep State. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, unless you're part of the Deep State. In that case, we already know you're watching.